I decided to go live to have a conversation on my way home from work because I am 38 hot. I may or may not be able to see comments, so I'm gonna tell you ahead of time. Sorry if I don't see them. I'll try to see them and all of that good stuff. But yeah. Hey, hey. So I found out that okay, the only reason why I went looking for this information is because I wanted my video for my surgery. I wanted to be able to see the video like I did for my mommy makeover, and I want to be able to see the video to see exactly what they did and how it looked, all of that good stuff. Well, I reached out and they didn't have a video, and I was like, what's the chance of them not having a video? So I let that go. I'm like, you know what? That's bothering me, but it's not bothering me enough to where I'm about to just act crazy over the video, because it's obviously I had surgery because I did, but it was still bothering me. So I reached out to Mia this morning and I used my cell phone. It didn't work. Well, I called them and they were like, we're not open right now. It was like 7:45 in the morning. So I waited to 8 o'clock on the dot. That's how thirsty I was. So 8 o'clock on the dot, I called back to Mia. It kept sending me to some voicemail. Kept saying, leave a voicemail, leave a voicemail, leave a voicemail. I'm like, that is the weirdest thing. Why is it doing that? So I used my work cell phone and I called Mia. And it went straight through. I was like, what? So obviously Mia has, when you have surgery with Mia, I don't know what queue they put you in, but if you call from the number you have on file, they have you in a certain queue. At least they had me in a certain queue where they weren't answering. It was making me leave a voicemail, and then they could decide when they get back to me. That wasn't good enough. So I had a call with my work phone, and I got a hold of somebody, and he was real sweet, real nice guy, and he gave me the revision information, the email for revision and email for medical records. I emailed them both at the same time. So I emailed medical records, and I'm shocked. They emailed back like this. Like, it was so fast, y'all. And I was like, well, dang. So what I said was, and I'll screenshot and put it in the chat, in the community thing. I asked him, I said, I'm curious to know how many liters of fat Dr. Ziakis took out for my surgery in Houston, Texas on May 9th. I got like 360. They answered back so fast, it was unbelievable. So somebody answered back and was like, well, he took out 2,700 cc's. And I was like, what? 2,700 cc's? That's 2 liters. That's not even, you took out half the amount you could take. So I didn't get mad there, because you cannot talk to folks. They don't talk to you. They'll put you on block lists. You gotta be nice to them, right? So I'm talking nice, and I'm telling the girl, in VV email, I'm being nice. So finally, that person in the email, medical records, gave me a number to call. The number went directly to somebody in revision. All of this time, I didn't even know they had a number to like the post-op revision people, whatever. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I talked to the post-op people, talked to the medical people, talked to the revision people, and they said that he only took out 2,700. I said, well, what? And I'm being nice now. I said, well, what would cause him to, before I act, nuts, not really, but before I get aggravated, I was like, so what would cause, hey, Nicole, like, what would cause him, or the doctor to not take out the full 5,000 cc's. What would cause that, right? They were like, the only way that he would stop the procedure is if your blood pressure was dropping, or your body wasn't taking the anesthesia, or you didn't have fat to give. In any event, the doctor put it in your chart and tell you all of that. And I was like, so do you see any of that in my chart? The girl in the revision department was like, no. Post-op department, same thing. There's nothing in my chart that says it. So I can only think that instead of him doing the full 5, maybe he ran out of time. Maybe he got like busy and he didn't have an assistant to the lipo for, because they do that at me. I was trying to think of ways or reasoning behind why he wouldn't have took the whole 5. Because after all the research that I've done, Houston can take the full 5. Chicago can too, but they just high. I didn't want to pay that. But now you get paid for it. So Miami can only take 4 liters. And so I chose Houston because Texas can take the most fat. Not to mention they contour the most. Hence Dr. Chaparro. Yeah, but he had complaints, but I don't know. But did y'all know that Dr. Miho is going to Dallas? But that's neither here or there. Back to like the issue at hand. I'm so conflicted and so frustrated because not many people are gonna call and be like, how much fat did you take out? Most times you're going to just be like, I had my surgery and that's it. And they did what they did and it's good. I'm trying to figure out what had happened because I paid a lot of money. I paid a lot of money for this Lipo 360, and he took out 2.7. He took out 2,700 cc's. When my good friend Google told me what that meant, which was just 2.7 liters of fat, they got to convert on Google. I'm just like, why would you have not taken the rest of it? Like, what? So now I'm like frustrated because one, if I even decided to get a revision, I ain't paying for it. Let's be clear. Not paying for it. Not doing that. Because it wasn't my fault. You didn't do what you're supposed to have done. So I'm going to fight that one to the bitter. I'm going to fight that one. So I'm not paying it. But it's not even that I think about. I think about the travel. I think about the emotional craziness you go through, like being up and down. Jeez Louise. And then I think about the post-op care. Y'all, post-op care is so not cheap. And you got to start. I'm finally at like a point where I don't have any swelling. And that's how I knew something was wrong, because I still have a little bit of back fat, and I'm like, that shouldn't be there, because that shouldn't be there. I love my results, don't get me wrong, but I kind of feel like I didn't get what I paid for. That sounds so counterintuitive. I know that sounds real selfish and crazy. That probably sounds real crazy, me saying I like my results, but I'm not. I like my results, but he didn't take what he could have taken, if that makes sense. Like, and I wonder, how does Dr. Johnson and Dr. Kanye and Dr. Miho and Chaparro, like, how these girls like have no bigger than I am having back fat? Because they're taking the amount of liters they're supposed to. And I get it, right? So he said, so what he said was, when I was there, he go up, and when I said, what do you mean up to 5 liters? He said, we take what we can. I can explain that. He said, this air make my teeth hurt. He said, we take what we can. If when we do the liposuction and the fluid that's coming out is no longer like a milky pink, but then it's red, they stop. But they document that. And so now I'm in a place where I'm like, I feel crazy for even considering wanting to almost think about getting a revision. Because, like, who wants to go through that again? Like, come on. I will be in a faja for like 2 years, it seems like. But I also feel like I didn't get everything that I'm supposed to get. And that was $4,600. That's a lot of money when you think about. And I feel crazy for even saying this, because some girls get these surgeries and things go left, or some girls get this surgery and like their results are terrible for real. And, I mean, my results aren't bad, like for real, they're not bad. But y'all know the only reason why I really went, because I hate my back fat, and I feel like all my back fat not gone, and it's bothering me. Gosh, that's bothering me so bad. Like, and it's not even the fact that it's the travel, man. It's the plane ticket to get there, or the car ride to get there. I don't put the miles on my car, so it's the plane ride to get there. Back up, pause. Time off work. It's time off work. Then it's getting there. Then it's the lodging. Then it's the downers that you feel when you have this. Because, man, my surgery had me all kind of crazy. Like, I'm not going to lie. It y'all know that. It makes you, like, up and down, depressed and happy and sad. And I finally got leveled out, like, last month. And then I'm like, oh, my God. Then today. It's just the travel for me. It's the aftercare for me. Like, having to pay for these lymphatic massages again is just like, it is so daunting. But, and I feel like if I raised enough noise, I'm not paying for a revision. Let's just be clear, because I paid for what I had paid for, but I'm good. I think I'm not doing it again. But I am frustrated. You know, I'm not gonna lie. There's no way. Here's my absolute, honest to God opinion. There is no earthly way that I'm willing to go through that again. I'm just being honest. It sucks because I paid for it, but honestly, the aftercare is super expensive. Your mindset be crazy. So I will just tell anybody that's going afterwards, or if you're gonna have surgery, like, and maybe I didn't do this enough, or I wasn't clear, but just make sure that it's understood before you go and get the anesthesia and all of that stuff, that, you know, that you'll get what you're paying for. Let me see. No, you do pay all the money for the Dr. Nicole, and it's crazy because it's very expensive. Very expensive. And that's true. You do play it's to me, it's half the job, right? So I do marketing for people and their businesses. I couldn't do half of a logo and be like, you good. That wouldn't fly. That would drive them crazy or get me sued, one. But I couldn't do that. But I wouldn't expect someone else to do it either. So, and then that's neither here or there. And I seen a comment, maybe that is God's way of saying to stop, but I mean, what's done is done now. I still want my money's worth, but I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but my money is still my money, and there's a lot of money to pay. But I'm gonna tell myself it's all good until I convince myself that it's all good. I guess now, since I made it, I I can't go back because my mental gonna drive me crazy. The ups and downs, the massages and all of that. I just wondered if there's any compensation for that. Like, I know I paid them all of this money. Okay, so do you give money back? If I'm paying for X amount of dollars for something, do you? They probably don't, but just still, I'ma ask. Because if I'm not having this surgery, I don't want a revision. Because think about how it's almost like taking food back to the restaurant. I don't want to get on the table and you cut me and give me anesthesia after I didn't complain about you not doing it right. I gotta just eat it and just deal with I just have to eat the fact that you didn't do it. You didn't have the job. I gotta eat that and be okay with it, because I don't feel 100%. I don't feel comfortable with going and getting on the table for a revision after complaining about it not being right. Just saying. Like, I don't even send food back to the restaurant. If you mess up at the restaurant, I just be like, don't worry about it, it's okay. I don't send it back to the kitchen because I know what they're gonna do. I think for me it's the same concept. But I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am not gonna lie. I would be lying to you and not being real if I didn't tell you that I wasn't pissed. Because that would be me not being real. Very authentic with y'all. Very upset is what I am. But for anybody that goes after me that's getting surgery, just make sure that it's understood that they're taking the 5. Because I assumed it, because it's always, we take up to 5, and we'll do 5 because your body can handle it. But I never clarified. So you are going to do the 5, right? I didn't clarify that. That's on me. But if you are in the market for getting surgery and you are thinking about getting it done, and you do have a doctor that you can talk to and ask questions, I would definitely ask those questions. Like, so I get that we're doing like a 360, but are you gonna do the full 5,000 cc's? Because us as regular people, we're not doctors. When we say 5 liters in our head, we think like 5 liters. It's just like a small thing of, think about how big 1 liter of milk is, right? So when since I asked the question, how many liters did he take out? She responded back and said 27 cc's. She did not say liters, because in their minds, we don't know what 2,700 means. We don't know what that means. Google do, but we don't really know what that means in real layman's terms. So that was another thing. Know your liters and conversions, because when I tell you it ain't right, it ain't right. It's so wrong. But know your liters and get it all ahead of time before you have your surgery. You know what, Nicole? I'm not even gonna lie to you. As bad as I'm not gonna lie, as bad as I want to do it, I just cannot go through this. I can't start over. To me, that is starting over. I'm just 2 months post-op now, but for real, in my head, that is starting over. Like, that's the massages, that's the bleeding, and then the bloating, big bloating, and then that's I've gotten off good with no infections, no hospital visits, no nothing. Like, I've had seamless surgeries, but I don't know. But then I have to go through and research the doctors all over again, and I feel like that's a lot of work. I don't think I will go to another doctor. I talked to my nurse today, my friend, Nurse Keita, and I was talking to her about it. Because I was like, before I just go off the handle and go crazy as to me, not getting what I paid for, is there any reason why he wouldn't have done it? And she explained it, and same thing they said at Mia, but it would have to be documented. But again, I don't know. I highly doubt it, because I just don't want to go through the massages again. That's expensive. Like, people think the surgery's expensive. The surgery may cost you some money, but that ain't what's expensive. What's expensive is the downtime you have, like trying to get back into being physically active. And then then it's like the fajas you gotta buy, which I'm just now getting back into my last loop, so no. And then the massages, and then the mental state, and then being sore, can't get up, can't get. That's a lot. So when I say it's expensive, I mean it's expensive mentally, emotionally, and physically, and financially. I just don't think I'm mad because it wasn't done right to my liking or what I expected. But I don't think I can't. No, I wouldn't do it again. I couldn't even imagine doing a round. To me, that's a round 3. No, I don't feel like I could do that. But again, for anyone that is going, I would just say know your CCs conversion. So if they take it now, if they start talking that CC talk to you, well, that's convert that to liters, and you'll know what you're getting taken out. Because they won't say liters to you, because then they'll know that you didn't get your full amount. But he definitely said 2,700 cc's, and when I googled it in the conversion, that was 2.7 liters. So, and I think the cc's is I forget what it stood for, but I knew it an hour ago. I'm so aggravated. But I'm going to continue to work out and lose, on my own. But I thought I would share that with you guys because that was so frustrating. Like, that was the highlight of my absolute day. So they will block you and have your number on some weird list so that it gets routed someplace else. And they don't always take out the 5 liters. Like my sister had hers done by Dr. Sisto. She had a BBL. And they took out 5 liters of fat. It said it on her thing. But they put back in 3,000 cc's. So they took out the 5 and put 3, allocated someplace else. But girl, I just, you know what? All I can do is smile. Because I can't do anything else. Because I'm not doing this again. I just got to a point where I could work out and ride my bike and get back active again. I don't want to go through that again where I'm back in a faja and not moving around. So I'm going to let it do what it do. And figure it out later. I'll work it out. It's all good. Oh well. So next time, I'll see y'all. I'm going to do my post-op, 2-month post-op video tonight and post it tomorrow so I can show you my results and stuff like that. Yes, I'm in a way better placement. And that's what keeps me from wanting to do the revision, because I do not want to feel how I feel. Like, I don't want to feel that feeling again. Like, when I was talking to y'all and doing the videos when I was 2 weeks post-op and 3 weeks post-op, I was all over the place. I was sad half the time. I wanted to cry half the time. I just don't want to feel that feeling again, because it drove my husband crazy, for real. And it drove me crazy because I couldn't figure out whether I was coming or going. I was up and down. So thank you. But like I said, I like my results. But had I not been me and went snooping looking for information, I probably would be fine. Had I not been nosy and being myself and trying to investigate, I would have been fine because I would have known no better. But because I am who I am, I went looking and I got more than I bargained for, and now I gotta eat it. So it's okay. I'm in a good place. Very mad, but I'm in a good place. I'll continue my journey, continue vlogging my journey, because it's not the end all be all. It is frustrating, though, I ain't gonna lie. But I would say this, and I'm gonna let y'all go. If my results were terrible and I wasn't happy for real, I will probably get a revision. Because if I was unhappy with my results, if I was unhappy, if I felt like I was still round or I didn't look good or didn't have a good shape, then I would definitely want to get it done. But because I'm happy with my results, I was just being nosy and found out what I shouldn't have found out. I shouldn't have been looking for information. Left well enough alone, I would have been okay. So with that being said, this is just God's way of saying, Tisha, just work out. Just go back to what you know and work out. So now you know what you know. Just go harder. That's it. That's all. So I guess I'll use this as ammunition for me to prove to myself that I don't need to rely completely on it. Oh, what I found out was about me. Nothing crazy, nothing major. It's just that I thought I was calling being nosy today to me, and I probably shouldn't have, but I found out that they didn't take out the full 5 liters. They only took out 2.7 liters. But I paid for 5. And so the only reason why they wouldn't take it out is if you had a medical problem, or like your blood pressure started to drop or raise, or you had visceral fat, something like that. But I had none of those issues that was documented. He just didn't take the full 5, and it's again frustrating. But that's just me gonna end up using that to just go harder to protect what I've already paid for, and to lose it naturally now that I've gotten a head start, or I'll say not a head start, I've gotten a reboot. So I'll leave it at that and call it good, and just leave it. I'll just leave it at that. So they are definitely scared. I don't know what, but it depends though, because it's a catch-22. Because Dr. Chaperoux, now go to their Instagram page and look at that. They just posted new bodies on their pages. So Dr. Chaperoux and Dr. Miho is from Miami. He just moved to the Dallas location. Dallas is like 4 hours away. They just opened up September. Yeah, they just opened up a Dallas Mia right here, 3 hours away. But Dr. Miho is a goat. He's from Miami, and he does not have a problem taking the lipo out. And so for that reason, but he's high. But the more lipo they take out, the more complaints they have. I don't know. I've seen it both ways. I really can't call it. I don't really know until I start being nosy again, looking for something that I should be looking for. But normally, the ones that have the higher rate of taking out more lipo, like aggressively, then be the ones the girls be upset, or they go too deep, or organs get punctured. And I'm not saying like be hella like extreme with it. I'm like, can I just take what you want to take it and like call it good? But again, that's neither here or there. I'ma just work out for real and just continue to eat right. And I get that, you know what, and I can get with that. They keep and I probably should be okay with this, but each doctor, Dr. Rain said it, and Dr. Ziakis also said it. They kept saying, we want you to be proportioned. I'm like, how is that not proportioned? Like, I asked for a breast lift and reduction. Dr. Rain would not give me a reduction. He would lift me, but he would not reduce me. And I'm like, I want to look down and not see no boobs. I want to look down and just be like, whoop, because I want to be able to wear shirts without no t-shirt, without no bra on. That didn't happen. I'm like lifted, just big and lifted. So it's like I'm up there. But yeah, I don't gotta wear a bra. So I mean that does help. But they kept hollering about being proportioned. So maybe I shouldn't be too mad. Maybe I shouldn't be too mad. But with that being said, I'm gonna just work out and call it good. I'll use my negative energy of being frustrated and use that to work out to prove to myself that I could do it. So I'll leave it at that. But I'm gonna post my video or yeah, post my video for my 2 months post-op, so y'all can see the front and see the back and see my belly button, because it even changed. Like, my body changed every single day. Like, it changes every day. And so I don't know. Again, I'm not upset at, I'm just pissed because I pay all of that money and he didn't do what I asked him to do, but neither did Dr. Rain, so I can't even get mad. So that being said, I'm gonna see y'all.